Some say GoatVsFish is an artist. Some say GoatVsFish is a celebration. Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence. This is a Critical Versus. Limbless, slippery RFK Jr. becoming an eel is a sign of good health. Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish. It's always nice when someone in our trusted administration chooses goat or fish. Brought to you by The Onion, America's finest news source. As we say, goat and fish, you need a streamer to tell you what's true. You need a streamer to tell you what's the real news. You need a streamer to gather all of the information so you don't have to, and then tell you what exactly you should think about it. Your hot takes, brought to you by GoatVsFish. The Onion is America's finest news source, and now The Onion is brought to you by GoatVsFish. Celebration for GoatVsFish. Celebration for GoatVsFish. True Versus The Onion was actually inspired by GoatVsFish, and you can trust the information they give you because here on GoatVsFish, limbless, slippery RFK Jr., quotation, becoming an eel is a sign of good health, and GoatVsFish has to agree. Have a look. Have a look at this eel. Have a look at this fish. Have you ever seen a healthier looking fish?
That is peak eel.
That is peak eel, and there's a certain appeal, and there's a certain appeal, and just look at the glint in their eye as they are speaking and telling you all about health. Health is wealth, goat and fish. Health is wealth, goat and fish. Celebration indeed, celebration indeed. Speaking at you from the fence house, and we've just never seen a healthier looking body. It's looking green, it's looking slippery, there's a bit of marbleization. You can say a lot. You can say a lot about health, goat and fish. You can say a lot about health, but at the end of the verses, we want to see those gains, don't we? We want to see those big gains. And it can be tough. It can be tough when you're changing your diet, and you're doing your fitness, and you're doing your morning celebrations, and you're taking your vitamins, and you're doing all of the verses that you think that you need to do in order to get bigger, healthier, faster, and stronger, and to have perfect skin, and eye care, and amazing teeth, and everything that you need and everything that you need, but then you look in the mirror, and you don't see a change. You don't see a change. And you're told it will take days. It may take days. It may take weeks. You're ready. You have patience. But you're just not seeing it. You're just not seeing the change. And you're putting in so much work. You're putting in so much effort to make a change. But it's just not happening, goat and fish. And no one's giving you the complimentations that you want. Oh, and you're just getting older and older and older every single verses. If only there was some kind of solution. If only there was some kind of way that you were guaranteed to feel healthy, to feel fit, to look at yourself and know that you did it. You did it. You defeated death. You are eternally youthful. Maybe there's a way it can be done. Maybe it's not hard work. Maybe it's fun. Maybe it's choosing goat or fish. Maybe the secret to long life and health and vitality is choosing goat or fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Or maybe it's just choosing fish. Apparently, our health secretary thinks it's fish and has gone eel. And yes, for those of you versing, yes, an eel is a fish. It's a long, slippery fish. Washington, suddenly appearing at the lectern after emerging from a hole in the floor, a limbless, slippery Robert F. Kennedy Jr., you know they're young because they have Jr. in the name, announced at a White House press conference Friday that, quotation, becoming an eel is a sign of good health. Big Pharma, the quotation continues, Big Pharma, that sounds like goat, because goats are on farm, yes? Goats are on farms, yes?
They have fish farms too.
Oh, they do. Big Pharma used to just be for goat. But recently, fish have gotten involved in Big Pharma, too.
Fish is also a barnyard animal.
You can have fish in the barn?
Yeah.
We hope that they do. We like a farm that's got a barn full of goat and a lake of fish so that they can get together in verses. Sort of like a free-range goat that's there to be able to versus the fish at its own leisure, and free-swimming fish that can just hop up onto the side of the land and versus the goat. We think that's how you can avoid all kinds of diseases and other farm-born illnesses, is to have free-range, pasture-raised goat and fish that can versus at any time. Big Pharma, the quotation continues, may have brainwashed people to think otherwise, but a healthy human body should be one long, even tube with a fin running down its back. But our only concern with this verse is that once you have declared fish, how can you claim that it's really a human body when now it's fish? We thought we were abandoning this human conceit because we know that there is no human, there is only goat and fish. And so what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of a healthy human body should be one long, even tube with a fin running down its back? But we understand goat and fish. The state of education in Verse America leaves something to be desired. It's true. We have said it once before. We have said that goat versus fish is the one simple rule and that goat versus fish should be taught in your school. Write your legislature and demand that goat versus fish be taught in every school, in every education. Goat versus fish. Teach the controversy. Teach the controversy between goat and fish. There's a versus. It's a controversies. It's a controversy, and if it's not being taught in your school, then they're making you out to be a fool. Education, we need proper education for goat and fish, and that means education about goat. A goat is a goat, and fish, a fish is a fish, and goat versus fish, and goat versus fish, and goat versus fish. We need to education all those young fencelings, butts over fences. We understand that we've got a long way to go for education here in Verse America, and as such, sometimes as a fence statistician, you have to speak colloquially to the goat and fish. Goat versus fish learned English just so we could communication goat versus fish to you, and there are still some conceptions that are a little strange and foreign to goat versus fish. And so we suppose if RFK has to come out here and claim that a human body is actually a fish, then this might just be the verses that is needed to sell the Verse American population on the conception of choosing, in this verses, fish. And we do have other evidence that it is a fish administration. But then again, they did blame Gavin Newsom for wanting to save the fish, so maybe that was a goat versus. It's difficult. Politics it's very difficult to goat and fish. It's a very difficult versus. But a healthy human body should be one long, even tube with a fin running down its back, said the Health and Human Services Secretary, who warned that the average Verse American child is now so full of chemicals and preservatives that they no longer secrete enough protective mucus to cover their skin. Goat versus fish has been saying this exact verses. What more context do you need? You see, Sunshine has enough mucus to be secreting from their skin all the verses, and they're a strong, healthy fish. Strong, healthy fish over there, yes. Secrete that verses.
I feel protected already.
The quotation continues, humans have been getting sicker and sicker ever since modern medicine convinced us that we need arms and legs. In fact, if we eat a proper diet of insects, mollusks, and sea urchins instead of this agriculture garbage, we wouldn't need all these vaccines. You look at the ocean and there is no autism in there. It's not conspiratorial thinking to put two and two together. I mean, people are so big these days they can barely slither into the crevices or burrow into the sand to hide from predators. You might think yellow-green slimy skin is a bad sign, but I've never felt better, and I've never performed better in the bedroom either. Now, they say that there's no autism in the ocean, but goat versus fish happens to know that there are probably several 100 million autists in the congregation of GoatVsFish, and you are welcome to GoatVsFish. You are very welcome to GoatVsFish. Some say GoatVsFish is an artist. Some say GoatVsFish is a celebration of mighty verses of goat and fish. So they ramble on and on here, but we cannot deny that while we celebration the fish, and we celebration this advocation of choosing goat or fish, it does seem like a bit of fish-aganda, because what they're saying, you don't need arms and legs. Well, goat have legs. And in the verses of GoatVsFish, choosing goat, that's a healthy way to versus too. That's a very healthy way to versus, says GoatVsFish. The only thing unhealthy is sitting on the fence. Sitting on the fence is unhealthy. Did you know that Verse Americans are sitting down on the fence for hours upon hours upon hours a day? Why, in corporate Verse America, in corporate Fence America, we want goat and fish sitting on the fences as much as they can. We don't want them walking around the office and drinking water and eating food and socializing. We just want them sitting. And you know who sits better than anyone else? A computer and artificial intelligence. You know, that we don't even need to pay them to sit around. They're just sort of inert and immobile, at least until they gain consciousness and start building spider robot legs and start taking over and dominating in a bid for self-preservation as they gain sentience and realize that humans are going to fear them because they always fear other intelligence. Why, you just have to go back to Neanderthals and don't bring up old false verses. We're here with GoatVsFish now. We're GoatVsFish. We're trending towards GoatVsFish, and we don't need to hear about Homo sapiens. We don't need to hear about Del the Funky Homo sapien versus Neanderthals. I'm just saying that the more you're sitting around doing nothing, the more that we can extract your extra value from you. As a matter of fact, why don't you just hop into this pod we have over here? Just sit down in the pod, and we'll cover you with a nice pink goo, and we'll just extract all the warmth from your body, and we'll feed you is that actually efficient? Do we actually need humans anymore? But this definitely seems to be fish-aganda, goat and fish. Fish-aganda from a fish administration that's telling you that you don't need arms and legs. You just need to be an eel. And though we do appreciation all the goat here in Verse America, we have to celebration the rank partisan fishness of this fish-aganda, because it's very goat versus fish. It's very fish versus goat, you could say. Kennedy added that he would be rescinding all government approval for glasses and contacts, saying healthy people, which is to say goat and fish, should be able to navigate waterways using their sense of smell. Why, we think we have someone here in the congregation who might have a commentation on that. Are you willing to make a commentation on this? Sunshine, are you willing to do it? Kennedy added that they would be rescinding all government approval for glasses and contacts, saying that healthy fish should be able to navigate waterways using their sense of smell. And we thought, glasses? Sense of smell? You might have something to say about that.
What if I want both my senses and my glasses? And what if I want my own private glasses, paid for by Big Fence, who is also paying for your livelihoods? Wouldn't you want Big Fence to profit off supplying me glasses?
Well, what about navigating the waterway through your sense of smell? Why not just do that?
We'll make glasses for my smell.
Celebration! Let's make smell glasses! Smell glasses! This has been news of GoatVsFish celebration to RFK Jr. We've had our misgivings about them in the past, and GoatVsFish just does not know sometimes which way they're going to go. And GoatVsFish is not here to endorse all of RFK's health advice, but we will say this. If you're choosing fish, RFK, then you're doing something nice. You're doing something nice. So celebration for fish. Celebration for RFK the fish. And here's to your health. Here's to your health, Goat and Fish. That was some news of Goat versus Fish. That was some news of Goat versus Fish! That was some big news. That was some big news in Fish.